We are a group of gearheads that have devoted our lives to what we do. From racing and off-road performance to show cars and fabrication. Customizing cars and trucks, it isn't just a hobby. It's all we know. We are DFA Performance.
So the back half of the tailpipe, I'm trying to get the big new leaf springs in, and the leaf spring is coming in contact with the exhaust. So we got to get the exhaust out of the way, get the spring in, because we can't just use the original springs.
The tailpipe of the truck is now hitting the Striker lift kit leaf springs. So
we looked into it, and it just took a little bit of modification. We tweaked the exhaust a little bit, and once we got the leaf springs in the vehicle and the weight on it, it ended up being a pretty easy fix. So he's moving right along with the lift. We have custom built JTX forged wheels. These took us about 14 weeks to get. They are forged aluminum, CNC'd 26 by 14, and we had them brushed with like a gunmetal clear coat, so you can see the brushing on them, which brushing is kind of a pretty pricey upgrade, but these things, they turned out. This wheel can only be mounted upside down. If you try to mount this thing on the top side, there's nowhere for the tire to dip down into the wheel to stretch over, so you will get one side on and the next side will not go on, and you'll be buying the customer a $1,200 tire. A lot of times, big tires like this, we have to use our bead bazooka to seat the bead, but these forged wheels, the barrel is so wide that they seal up pretty easily. So airing forged wheels up is usually pretty easy.
it's fun to do one every now and then, but I mean, a lot of people want their truck lifted, so we've done a ton of lift kits over the years, and you know, eventually they get pretty boring, but you know, one comes through the door every now and then, sure, but doing them back to back, I don't know, I definitely wouldn't enjoy it.
Finally, the big F350 is done.
Done. It runs, it drives, and the customer was blown away. And don't take our word for it. If you see it, ask him. This truck was a tough truck to lift. It's a brand new truck. It's got no scratches on it. We got a really expensive lift kit, not a scratch on any of that. So it's pretty difficult to put something like this together and make it look this good. What started as a pure red lift kit, we ended up having to make some changes pretty much the second the customer saw it. He requested a red lift kit, and it was a little too much red for him. And honestly, when you're spending this much money on a truck like this, I don't blame you. You want it to look perfect. So what we did is we kind of transitioned from red to black. We kept our traction bars and some of our links red and some of our connecting components, but some of the pieces that connect to the frame, we powder coated them gloss black. So what you have here is a 12-inch plus lift from Stryker. Stryker makes these lifts and they are top-notch. The customer was a little skeptical. He was wondering if the tires that big, if they were going to ride well, if it was going to be all over the road, how stiff the suspension was going to be. And anytime you build a truck that big, you're a little skeptical on what the customer's thinking, but I rode with him. We took that thing down the interstate, back roads. He was blown away. So this was definitely a big win and a truck that turned out amazing. The Heim joints that we installed with this lift kit are a lot stronger, which help with the pressure and the abuse you get from a big 14-inch wide wheel with a 15-inch wide tire. Outside of installing a lift kit like this, we had to add some extra things. We custom made some brackets that would hold the brake lines in place properly. We didn't want to cut corners there. One small bracket could be worth a lot of trouble. We ended up modifying both the drive shafts. We were a little concerned that one might be too long and one might be too short, so we modified the lengths just a bit to get them just perfect. This kit comes with custom-made, custom-valved coilovers for this truck. This isn't some off-the-shelf stuff. Everything was valved with remote reservoirs for this specific truck. So even though this is a big, heavy truck, it should have a pretty decent ride quality. As you can see down here, everything is heavy duty. From the Heim joints on the end of the steering links to these huge remote reservoir steering stabilizers, this kit is made to actually perform, not just be tall and look good.
So the build wasn't 100% easy. First of all, we can't put a truck like this on a lift and put a suspension lift on it, so it has to be done on the ground. Second, we had a few brackets that were rubbing. We had to attend to that and make sure nothing touched, steering back and forth. And
a little custom fab work done.
A little bit.
It is a lift kit, but you know, something this big, there's always a little bit of fab involved. So even though we don't have an actual coilover in the back, it's still a leaf spring. We have some major shocks back here as well. We capped off this truck with a set of JTX forged wheels that we had custom made for this truck, custom finished and brushed with a titanium clear coat, and then these 40 by 1550 26 Toyo MTs. This customer's had some lifted trucks before, but nothing like this. I think he's going to be blown away with what we did here. here we are, guys. DFA Performance. We're here at Racing for ALS. This is the 5th Racing for ALS event at VIR, and we were hoping the rain would hold out, but it's early in the morning and cars are just getting on track, and I feel sprinkles, so we're gonna see what the day holds for us. We got 4 cars here with our group and our new M4, so we're gonna be a little slow today because it's basically a stock car with like some eBay springs that the previous owner put on it, and we got some serious fast cars out here with this group. This organization does a lot that nobody else is doing, and it brings out a really awesome group of people and group of cars, some amazing cars that you're probably not going to see anywhere else. I saw the new Corvette Z06, the C8 Z06, first time I've seen one out on track, and we got a bunch of fast cars, a bunch of great people, and we're going to see what this thing does today, so stay tuned. So we got a few laps in, and I'm scanning my car right now. It went into limp mode, but yeah, I got a cylinder 1 misfire, put me into limp mode about 3 laps out there, and all we can do is see what happens from here. Maybe try to find a part if that's what it is.
Getting ready to go out first session. It is raining a little bit. Nick let me know the track's still pretty dry with the cars on it, so it was on the lift till 3:30 yesterday, so we're hoping I get a full weekend.
Were you upset there?
I was a little upset.
So a lot of people probably don't know that you don't just hop into this and get to drive like the pros. Like Matt, being new to the road racing world, he's in a novice group, and the passing is a point by only scenario.
If you see my Mustang coming, y'all need to just move out of the way.
Yeah, and control your tempers, no road rage on track. So what happened?
I went into turn 1 too fast, and I exited way too fast. I'm just glad that wall was there.
So what?
Damn it.
Like, you were braking into turn 1 and just slid through?
Broke into turn 1, made it through, going into turn 1, coming out of turn 1, started to understeer, got 4 off, spun it around.
So you went the outside wall in turn 1. You should probably just
drive it.
What do you?
I'll get me another Coyote sticker right here.
Oh,
and
no, just wipe everything down, check it, make sure nothing.
That's why I came in, so I could check it over.
Well, how did it feel?
It felt great.
Clutch make noise?
I can't hear nothing over the exhaust, but it felt great.
What kind of, you said the Scion only hit like 100 miles an hour.
I think 127 was what I read on my
That's you get some speed now. I love this about Matt. He goes as hard as he can the first time out. axle seal. Some sort of fluid leak here. We're not sure if it's an axle seal.
I'm hoping it's an axle seal.
If we'll take a look at that. But he hit the wall.
That could be why the axle seal's leaking.
It could be where you hit the wall. Yeah, could be. So we'll take a look at that.
Get acclimated again. Car's been down pretty much all this year. I've gotten like 20 minutes of seat time up to this point. So first session was a little slow, kind of getting the feel for the car. Shook out, everything felt great. So starting to pick up some pace, and last session the car was feeling really good. I'm not overheating or anything like that. So we got about 2 hot laps, decent hot laps, and then we ended up getting a red flag, unfortunate accident on the track. So kind of cut the session short, but feeling pretty good for the rest of the day.
Finally got our first clean session. Me and Matt got gridded up front, so we didn't have to deal with traffic up front. So first time with in-car instruction with Nick over there. Cleaned up some of my lines, you know, got through all the tricky parts that I was having troubles with. Felt much faster. I think I got 214, 215 in me somewhere. So if I can just keep it cool, we'll be sub 210.
I drove really slow, and Austin, I think, ran the slowest times he's ran at VIR yet. And Nick in the Viper got some new parts, was able to shake down his car without it breaking, but his spare transmission was shifting kind of slow.
Yeah.
So his times were a couple seconds off his normal pace, but for a super hot weekend, overall on-track stuff went well. The best part of Dave's race, though, was the money that was raised. I believe just under $250,000 were raised by this one event.
That's not including the auction and everything.
Yeah.
So that was even, it was over 250,000.
And all this money, we got to see Dr. Bedlack with Duke Neurology talk and give an absolutely amazing speech about the research they're doing, and overall racing for LS. Dave's Race 5 was a big success for a lot of people. We did see a brand new C8 Z06.
Did not go well for that guy.
Yeah, and
luckily he walked away.
Yeah,
but
glad you're okay, man.
Yeah, but I was standing up above the pits, and that is one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that car is probably done forever. So good luck to you, buddy. Man, that stinks, but that's part of the game we're playing here. What we believe are some eBay coil springs. Now we've bought some parts and we're ready to start making this thing a little more trackable. Well, after weeks and weeks of struggle and suffer, I think we finally got a drivable truck.
So Z car should be right up your alley, a little bit older than what you're used to.